In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
That is former President Donald Trump announcing his run for a second term as president in 2024.
The announcement was made from his Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida.
NBC 15's Colt Molesky has more on this announcement.
Maria John, the 45th President Donald Trump announced the start of his third presidential campaign tonight. Trump said his campaign will be based on, quote, freedom, values, and just plain common sense.
American people, the greatest people on earth, we love them all, and we love both sides. We're going to bring people together. We're going to unify people, and it was happening in the previous administration, previous to the previous, and what was bringing them together was success.
As the former president announced his campaign, I talked with Wisconsin Republican strategist about what the announcement means for the Badger State. He says Trump has been competitive in Wisconsin in both races and anticipates he will receive support in the state again.
For anybody who runs for president, they run if they think they can win, and if the polling shows that there's support out there. You know, still in the polling, he's still very competitive with Joe Biden, including in Wisconsin. So I don't see it as dividing the party.
Now, he added, because Wisconsin is a battleground state, he anticipates presidential candidates from both parties will be making several stops in the state ahead of Election Day in 2024. In the newsroom, Colt Molesky, NBC 15 News.
Colton, thank you. And we're waiting on a statement from the Wisconsin Democratic Party. The National Democratic Party tweeted this, quote, Trump failed America. We will defeat him again.